It's match week 7 of the 2023 J1 season, and the Kashima Soccer Stadium in Ibaraki Prefecture is the venue as struggling Kashima Antlers seek out their first home win in the league in a decade over Vissel Kobe. So tight is the top of J1 with 2 months of the season gone that Vissel have dropped from first to second after the completion of the early kickoffs. They may even tumble further to third if they're beaten here, and Nagoya Grampus can get the win elsewhere. It hasn't really happened for the Antlers yet. They may be the most decorated club in J.League history, but 4 defeats and just 2 wins in their first 7 matches mean a position of 14th at the start of play today. And it doesn't exactly suggest that a return to the glory days is imminent. When Kashima won the 2018 AFC Champions League in a blaze of glory, no one at the time could possibly have imagined they'd go another 4 seasons at least without winning a trophy. But that's turned out to be the case. And unless there's a serious improvement, that barren spell will be extended to 5 seasons come the end of 2023. Vissel Kobe are defending an extraordinary away record at the home of Kashima Antlers. They've not been beaten here in a decade. The last 3 years have produced draws in this fixture. And Kashima haven't won at home in the league yet in 2023. Their 2 victories so far came away at Kyoto Sanga and at Yokohama FC in their first 2 away matches. Frontale and Hiroshima have both come here to the Kashima Soccer Stadium and won. Avispa took a point from a goalless draw. And if there is to be a breakthrough home win this season today, it will come against a team out of the traps quickest with 5 wins and a draw and just a single defeat in Vissel Kobe. But this could be a good time to play them for Kashima. Coach Daiki Iwamasa will no doubt have observed how Albirex Niigata blunted Kobe's previously dynamic front 3 of Osako, Muto and Kikuchi at the Nove Stadium last weekend in a 0-0 draw that gave Vissel's challengers at the top of J1 a chance to make up some ground. Two matches completed already today in J1. Avispa Fukuoka incredibly defeated right at the last by Albirex Niigata, but Sanfrecce Hiroshima got an away win at Yokohama FC, and that's enabled them to leapfrog Kobe at the top of the table. But all will be good for Kobe if they can get the win here, continue this extraordinary away sequence at the home of the Antlers. They would return outright to the top of J1. Well, no let-up in the rain. Really wet day here in Ibaraki Prefecture on Japan's eastern coast. The Antlers led there by Yuma Suzuki, Vissel Kobe by Otaro Yamaguchi. Kashima seeking that first home win in the league over Kobe in 9 attempts. Vissel have won 5 times here, and there have been 4 draws since a 1-0 win for Kashima in 2012, when their winning goal was scored by a sprightly 22-year-old called Yuya Osako. A decade on, and with plenty of Bundesliga experience under his belt, Osako is back in Japan and scoring now for fun for Kobe. He got the equaliser in the 1-1 draw last season. So, the Antlers, Daiki Iwamasa makes 5 changes to the Antlers team that lost their 3rd straight league match at Kashiwa Reysol last week. Sekigawa at centre-half, Hiroza at right-back, Araki and Iguchi in midfield, and Yuta Matsumura as support on the right for Yuma Suzuki. Hiroza, Araki and Matsumura all making their first starts of the season. He's really shaking it up here, Coach Iwamasa. Akihiko Ikeuchi referees a game at the Kashima Soccer Stadium for the first time since last May, and the Antlers 2-0 win over Gamba Osaka in round 4 of the Emperor's Cup. Jun Mihara and Hideaki Nishio are his assistants, with their finger on the pulse and finger on the button in the VAR booth. It's Takuto Akabe assisted by Yukitaka Kumaga. Vissel Kobe are unchanged for the third league match in a row, so that means still no way back into the starting 11 for Andres Iniesta, despite that 10-minute cameo against Niigata last week, in which there were flashes of the old magic. The front three still Yaruki, Antlers old boy Osako and Muto. Jean-Patrick again good enough only for the bench despite his dramatic impact last week. We saw another super sub late goal snatched away harshly because of the tightest of VAR offside calls. Daiki Iwamasa is the coach, and of the 35 goals scored by him in the decade he spent as an integral part of the Antlers team that won 9 major honours, there was a first-minute winner against Vissel Kobe back in 2009, a game in which Takayuki Yoshida lined up for the opposition. Players turned managers of the clubs they used to represent in both dugouts today. Kashima Antlers play 3 at home, 1-0 against Vissel Kobe. 3 wins from 3 away. It's the 31st season of J1 football. Vissel's previous best start to a season in 2017 began to unravel at exactly this point. 5 wins and a defeat in their first 6 then under Nelsinho Batista, followed by 3 straight defeats and a draw as they tumbled from top spot to 8th. Batista was fired midway through that season and replaced by Takayuki Yoshida for the first of his 3 stints in the Kobe hot seat, the current being the most productive. Indeed, it is the visitors trying to create something straight from the off down the left-hand side. Koya Yaruki, who's on the left of that front 3, Osako through the middle, and the former Newcastle United player Yoshinori Muto is responsible for that right-sided attacking thrust. It's a free kick one in the opening minute here. The Antlers in familiar red at home as the rain still pours down here. There's the free kick. Plenty of bodies defending that. Now MEIJI Ueda with the clearing header there. So Yuma Suzuki, the 26-year-old, he's the captain. A pair of goals this season, started every match. And what looked like a pretty promising partnership with Kei Chinen as well, wearing 13 on the left of the supporting 3 behind Yuzuki for the Antlers. It's going to be Rio Hatsus, the Kobe left back, taking this early corner. The Antlers haven't got it clear. A chance to test the home defence there for Kobe, and then Hatsus is closed down. That comes through for Naoki Hayakawa. The great man Zico was part of the success that the Antlers had in the early years of professional football in the 90s here in Japan. He's had a couple of stints as interim coach as well, and has a technical director role at the Antlers these days, does Zico. Wrote his name on day 1 into the history books of the J-League. Zico scored a hat-trick in the Antlers' first match in the first season of J-League football in 1993. And it took them a few years to crack the code, the Antlers, but when they did, there was no stopping them over the next 2 decades. 8 J1 titles, 5 Emperor's Cups, 6 League Cups and an AFC Champions League crown. Vissel Kobe's single Emperor's Cup, way more modest return, but that did come at the expense of the Antlers in the 2019 final. Suzuki able to hold the ball up. Bring into play Koki Anzai. Getting forward on the left-hand side, the left-sided fullback. That's Asako, is able to bring it forward. Looking to play on the counter here today, Kobe. Shot from Haruya Ide. Putting the player in possession, comes up to Suzuki, who's got a real rugged air about him. Yuma Suzuki. Chinen is the target here, and Mikawa had to be proactive there in shutting down Kei Chinen. Really like the look of Kei. He's the close season signing from Kawasaki Frontale. And an excellent header of the ball as well. Some fine headers he scored this season. That was Yuta Matsumura. Makes his first start on the right-hand side. Only one time he's able to name an unchanged side in the league this season. Daiki Wamasa got a poor late run. Means that he's really shuffled the pack today. There was a League Cup win over Avispa Fukuoka here 10 days ago, but other than that, recent form has been poor. In all competitions, it's 4 defeats in the last 5 for the Antlers. Suzuki challenging, tied up by Mitsuki Saito. He's doing a really fine job at the base of the Kobe midfield. Everyone being fit and able, you would have expected Sergi Samper, the Spaniard, to be playing there, but had his injury worries, Samper, at the start of this season, which means Saito still there, anchoring the midfield with Ide and Yamaguchi just ahead of him. Sakai just about kept that ball in. Here's Yamakawa. Got to go Sakai. Loves to get forward, swings it over to Koya Yuruki. Rosa, full back. Heading him off. Good ball in. And Muto just couldn't bring the ball under his spell in the penalty area. Some early pressure though from Vissel Kobe. The ball's up to Suzuki. He's going to be winning free kicks like that all day for you, is Yuma Suzuki. He's part of the last great wave of success they had here at the Antlers. Part of the J-League winning team in 2016, Emperor's Cup. Followed soon after when the Asian Champions League final 2018, MVP in that. Got them a place in the FIFA World Club Cup at the end of 2018 as well. That victory 2 years after they'd actually made the final in that competition. On both occasions, runs ended by Real Madrid and hat-tricks. Firstly Ronaldo and then Gareth Bale in that semi-final matchup in 2018. Stuff of dreams, that, for Vissel Kobe. Had a good run in the Champions League last year. Indeed, there's an argument to say that that distracted from their league form, which is why they had such a wretched campaign domestically, Vissel Kobe. 6 matches from the end of the season were in the relegation places, but picked it up. Great work done in the off-season by the coach Yoshida and his players, and look where they are now. Muto. Couldn't quite slot that ball through to Ide. From Higuchi, Suzuki took aim, just took a little too long over it and allowed Saito to block him. Hirosa. Right back, Hirosa with Anzai, trying to do the same on this opposite wing. That's all you need to know in terms of weather here in Ibaraki Prefecture. Sakai, he's a tidy player, into Yamaguchi. That pass was loose. Get out by Sekigawa. Araki. He's always a player that's going to run at the opposition, Ryotaro Araki there. Attacking midfielder. Katuka. It's caught just after the ball went there. Sarko, the player challenging the Brazilian Diego Pituca in his third year, the 30-year-old. They're at the Kashima Stadium. Anzai. Oh, he was just caught there. The referee's content to play the advantage. Anzai just couldn't recover in time. Sakai getting back to lunge in here. Plenty of referees would have pulled up Gotoku Sakai there. There was contact with the ball first. Anzai just lets it run out. Yuta Iguchi will take the corner. Only half away, and a follow-up shot meets traffic on the way. Hirosa connected well. Too many bodies just between him and there Mikawa's goal. Led the assist table last year, Yuta Iguchi with 13 assists. Here he is taking the corner. Very, very deep. Too strong that, but covered by Pituca. There should have been a call on that from the goalkeeper. Ended up colliding with his own player in the penalty area there. Just a hint of confusion. That should have been straightforward here for Mikawa. Honda's okay. Suzuki. Araki. Made the most of the nudge there. Ryotaro Araki. And another set piece racked up here for the Antlers. A little clumsy from Honda. Useful that. Oh, make a bit of a meal of getting the ball away. Carried out just over there on that far side. The big swinging delivery from Yuta Iguchi again to have caught everyone by surprise. They had a blind side runner here. Can't keep the ball in. So, a quarter of an hour gone at the Kashima Soccer Stadium. 0-0 is the score. Not the smoothest of challenges, really, from Yu Osako. That's a little bit aimless. Sekigawa up and over. Suzuki just beaten to it by Mikawa. Again, good anticipation there from the Kobe keeper. Pituka trying to get the Antlers going. Plenty of endeavour here from the home side, but nothing doing in the vital areas yet. Anzai. Pituka. Ueda. Shinen is the runner. No, that will be dealt with. Finished 1-1 in this fixture in each of the last two seasons. Both of those matches, Vissel took the lead, only for the Antlers to equalise. The year before that, it was 2-2 here. There was a time when the Antlers versus Vissel Kobe, either here or at the Nove Stadium, was a nailed-on away win. More league matches in the 3 years between 2015 and 17 produced a victory for the visiting team. The hosts attacking down the right today there, but again straightforward for Mikawa. Ball in from the right-hand side wasn't of the correct quality. Saito, that's forward for Kobe. Offloads to Yuruki. But that's Pituka just muscling in. They're happy to gather the free kick here with Yuruki. There's a little snatch at the jersey there from Hirosa. That's to begin with. And in comes Bituka. Sarko hasn't seen much of the ball in the opening 20 minutes. Perhaps that may change here. Yuruki rolls it short for Hatsusa. Ryo Hatsusa. Useful. And the deflection just takes it away from Muto. I thought for a moment there Ryo Hatsusa was going to let fly. He does have a shot on him with either foot, actually. But he just bends that to the far post. It comes off Chinen, just a little too far in front here of Yoshinori Muto. Pressure from Yuki Honda has forced Kei Chinen into that mistake. Susa's corner, there's a Sarko! The bearings are off there, I'm afraid, from Yuya Osako. Scorer of 3 goals this season. A man who began his career here at the Antlers. There was real activity which may have distracted him just ahead, as well as Yuki Honda tumbled to the ground. And Osako won multiple honours with the Antlers. Couple of J-League Cups, Super Cups, and J1 and the Emperor's Cup as well, in only his 2nd year with the club. Suzuki happy to pick up the mantle up front as talismanic striker after Osako had left for Europe. Yamaguchi. Atsus. Messing about there from Ryo Atsus. Muto. Useful layoff. Sakai forward and momentarily caught out of position. But the Antlers can't do anything with that. Sakai with that throw to Osako. Worked the 1-2 nicely with Muto involved. Then Yuruki central. Yuruki takes it on. Osako. No, Sekigawa stood tall. Coming to the team today for Enshoji Ikuma Sekigawa. He's a useful centre-half. And here he is, just standing his ground here. Yuruki with the corner. Destination far post. Nodded on, and Sekigawa throws himself at that. Osako is okay with rolling that out for another corner. Particularly convincing from these crosses, defending crosses from either flank at present. Atsusa sends it in again. It's a good delivery. It's a fine header. It's Osako opening the scoring against his old club. Great movement there from the set piece from Yuya Osako. He scores at the Kashima Soccer Stadium for the second season in a row against his old club. Where he peels away there, the header doesn't go with him, and that's an expertly directed header. Hayakawa, no chance. Almost like he doesn't see it till late there. He can't respond, but that's an expertly placed header from Yuya Osako. It's his 4th goal of the season for Vissel Kobe. And they make good on their determination to return to the top of J1. Well, it's one of the strange quirks that their away form turning out to be a little bit superior to that at home at the Novice Stadium for Vissel Kobe. Might be on course after some false starts at home to return to winning ways. 1-3-1 at Sapporo on week 2 of the season. Won by a 0-0 at Sagan Tosu. 3-0 at Kyoto Sanga. That was before the pair of blanks in the space of 4 days last week, and they were beaten 5-0 in the League Cup by Sanfrecce Hiroshima and then held by Albirex Niigata. 0-0 that, but they're ahead here. Away by Anzai. Shinen just getting ahead there of Suzuki, but the problem with both of those players going for that ball is that no one really has the foresight to read it, give them an option. Might roll through here to Gotoku Sakai. There's a nice fluidity about Kobe. Muto, and tuck back for Sakai, who looks for Yuruki far post. Hatsusa gives it back to Koya Yuruki. Loose first touch there from Ataro Yamaguchi. Pressure on that second ball. It's superbly won back by Yoshinori Muto. Keeps it going. Might have to recycle here. Yamakawa. Sakai steps away from Chiner and offloads to Yamaguchi. Sako comes short. Hatsusa. Hatsusa, really good ball in, causing problems for Hayakawa, who smuggles it away. But it's Hatsusa again down the left-hand side, the full-back. Really good delivery. Causing the Antlers problems every time he gets forward and sends the ball in from wide areas. That's just a little bit feeble from Sakai. Don't have the positivity to work it clear there, the Antlers. So Hatsusa sending the ball in. I mean, the goalkeeper just anticipating a nick, isn't he, from either of those two players sliding in. Hide and then Muto, neither get a touch on it. And then he sort of improvises right at the last there. Kicks it away. That's Sakai, former international fullback, with plenty to say to Akiko Akiuchi. Koki Anzai, again, it's pretty sloppy really from Kashima Antlers. The rush ball clear, cut out again by Ryo Hatsusa. A really good match for Vissel Kobe. Get it again here. Taking on Matsumura, who's back to defend. In for his first start of the season, Yuto Matsumura today. Some early touches, but nothing since really. as Kobe have taken control of this first half at the Kashima Soccer Stadium. It's a tuck back, Hatsusa again. And a pick out of Sako, not that time. Cleared as far as Suzuki. That's Hirosa. Given away again. Sako. He's well challenged by Pituka, but giving it away once more of the Antlers. Muto, no, gives himself too much to do. A positive player though, Yoshinori Muto. Didn't happen for him at Newcastle United. One of his 2 Premier League goals came at Old Trafford. 2019, Yoshimuto. But didn't properly settle in the northeast of England. Here he is, Muto. Sako gives the ball away and then digs in to win it back straight away. Hatsusa. Yamaguchi. No, dwelled on the ball too long. Yamaguchi has to turn back and give it to Naomichi Ueda. Just a little bit late there from Ryo Hatsusa. He's caught Matsumura, no doubt about it. And a yellow card for the left back. First caution of the season for Ryo Hatsusa. Furious with himself. Any blemish on what has been a fine full-back display thus far. His delivery that led to a Sako's header. That's the goal that splits the teams here. Maria Ide. No foul there. It's taken on by Hirosa. No way through for him. And Sekigawa's header up for Suzuki. Touch off for Matsumura. Chinen and Suzuki in the middle. They may get another attempt at being a target. Matsumura tried to follow it in. And there's going to be a shout for handball there against the Sako. Will did kick up to hit his arm. Anzai. Sekigawa. Useful. Just too heavy, though, the way it turned out for Ryotaro Araki. Honda. Sako. Oh, that was cute. And Yuruki just can't make good on it. Home campaign for the Antlers started with the Kawasaki Frontale match, week 2 of the season. They were 1-0 up in that, going into injury time, and ended up losing it 2-1. A crazy end to that match. Perhaps they've never recovered in terms of their performances in front of their own supporters. Held by Vissel Kobe here. And beaten by Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Shinned away by Hatsusa. League Cup win over Vispa. Their only positive home return this season. The challenge is to get back into this one with Vissel Kobe leading. A little bit of pressure now from the Antlers. It's Naomichi Ueda. Is it to Matsumura? Sekigawa, Iguchi. Pinpoint pass forward there by the goalkeeper, Araki. Sakai just shuts the door on him. Araki again, 2 to take on. Safety in numbers there for Vissel Kobe. They work their little triangles to get their way out of bother. And Ide takes a tactical tumble and makes the most of the contact. Well played, Vissel Kobe. Playing more like league leaders now. And that's the way they will continue as well, with a positive result here at the Kashima Soccer Stadium. Continuing this extraordinary decade-long unbeaten sequence in this fixture. Because Nagoya Grampus, Sanfrecce Hiroshima moving up to 17 points, putting pressure on Vissel Kobe in the matches to be completed before this one on week 8. That Nagoya Grampus match hasn't finished yet, 13 minutes to go. They're 2-1 up at the Kawasaki Frontale. Miyashiro's second half goal there for Frontale, putting the pressure on Nagoya Grampus. Here's Anzai. Cross wasn't good enough. It's picked up by Iguchi. Shooting from serious long distance there. Sekigawa. Go again with Ueda. Route 1 stuff really, with the early ball launched over the top, but again Kobe just soak it up and play their way out of trouble. Asako. That was Sekigawa right at the last moment before Asako looked for Muto. It would have been away again there. Iguchi was long for Suzuki. Yep. The supply line was good. Suzuki couldn't nod it down into the path of Yuto Matsumura. So Kobe go again. Ide, no. Sako won't reach that. One of the players who's come into the team for this year, and he's slotted in ideally, Haruya Ide. He's the obvious candidate to drop out if they want to bring Iniesta back into the starting fold. Ide, the off-season signing from Tokyo Verdy. Sako, great quick feet there. And Asako trying to turn provider for Muto. Excellent challenge. Janzai got across. How on earth they work the space there to create a goal-scoring opportunity down the left is anyone's guess. But really good feet there from Yuya Asako. And he's cut that across there for Muto. Super challenge from Anzai. Last-ditch stuff to deny Muto, who has scored this season. Planted home a header from a Hatsusa corner in the 4-0 win over Gamba at the Noves Stadium. Might have had another, but for a cracking piece of defending. Ryo Hatsusa, once again, responsible for the set piece. This time it's going to bend in towards goal. Just about kept in play, it's Muto! He's edged that straight at Hayakawa. Well, two good, presentable chances in the space of a minute or so for Yoshinori Muto. And a yellow card has come in by the looks of things for Yuya Asako for just trying to shut down the quick release there by Hayakawa. Asako again involved, just nudging it onto Muto. And Hayakawa spread himself just enough to make the save and then toppled by Asako. Pretty needless yellow card, really, for the Vissel Kobe striker. Joins Hatsusa in the book. Naraki benefiting from that tidy chest down by Yuma Suzuki. Pituka. Suzuki very nearly fed it onto Anzai. Well, by dummying that ball through. Unintentionally. Sekigawa. No way forward, so back to Hayakawa. Pituka. Loose, just the concentration drops off a touch for the Antlers coming forward. It's clipped out by Honda. Yamaguchi, and we'll let it come through for Muto, who's just again content to just invite that challenge and make the most of the contact, tumble. Let's frustrate the Antlers. Another percentage point. Iwamasa was a fine player for them. 3 titles, stays as a central defender. Back end of the 2000s. Sakai, no, given away. Zaraki. Anzai, again, good stuff from Sakai, getting back, standing strong, and then just finding the pass, picking out Ide. Saito, always options. Yuruki. Just slows down the tempo a little bit, takes on Hirosa. Yuruki still there, draws that challenge. It'll be another Hatsusa set piece. It's the route that delivered them the goal that separates the teams. As we close in on half-time, a second would be a serious blow to Kashima Antlers. Hatsusa looks to pick out the movement. Sekigawa, good strong defending header. Sakai to Yuruki. Gets it back from Hatsusa, and then Yuruki just serves it up there for Osako. There's that second ball being won by Kobe today. Ide. Ide again. You have to offload soon. No, for once, they don't have a composed end product. Vissel Kobe. Akigawa sweeps the pass for Kokoyanza. Maybe a last chance in the first half, coming towards the end of the extra minute here for Kashima Antlers. Push through from Higuchi, going to drop for Araki. Osako will bring it away. Ituka challenges. Osako just holds it up again. Clever centre forward play there by Yuya Osako. Two in the box here. One of them's Muto. 2-0. What a bitter blow that is for Kashima Antlers right at the end of the first half. Super finish, clean and tidy by Yoshinori Muto. It's his second goal of this season. It's his second headed goal of this season. And right at the end of the first half here at the Kashima Soccer Stadium, Kobe moved 2 goals clear. It was a devastating counter. There's been such a crispness and tidiness about their counter-attacking all match long. Osako has no right here to hold off to red shirts like that, but hold them off he does. Saito takes the ball on and just plants that on the head of Yoshimuto. Clinical. Came close to beating Tomoki Hayakawa a little earlier. Did Muto with his head. Finally got it right with the last activity of the first half. Osako with the 24th minute header that gave them the lead. And then Muto right at the end. Stoppages at the end of the first 45 doubled Kobe's money. And this extraordinary away run at the Kashima Soccer Stadium set to continue for Vissel Kobe. They lead at half-time, 2-0. So second half about to get underway then. Vissel Kobe leading by 2-0 here at the Kashima Soccer Stadium. It took Daiki Wamasa, the Kashima coach, a good long while to join his players in the dressing room. After that whistle was blown to signal the end of the first half, and they were out early as well. What are Kashima Antlers made of? The J-League's most successful team historically, but struggling of late. 4th place finishes after late season rallies in each of the last 2 seasons. 5th before that. A pair of 3rd place finishes, runners-up in J1 in 2017 to Frontale. Just tracing things back to their last title in 2016. But this is a club not far short of the word crisis, I would argue, given the expectations and the history, and defending in the early seconds of the second half, as well as Asako cuts the ball across. Ball deflected away from Ide. Handball is the shout. Oh, it's a penalty. Just 45 seconds into the second half. Now then, a shoulder call. Remember that dramatic late finale when Frontale came here on week 2 of the season. They were penalised. The penalty was given when the shoulder was the argument. This was the attack that preceded it. Asako again, a little bit flat-footed in getting the ball clear, and just a brush of the arm by the looks of things from Koya Yaruki. As he looked to bring the ball under control, it's bounced up. You can see why it's been given. You can see why it's been given. I mean, the best laid plans. There would have been a rousing team talk, surely, at the break from Daiki Iwamasa, but it all turns to dust, doesn't it? When something like that happens within the opening seconds. They hadn't really had the ball, the Antlers, in the second half here. Asako, the normal penalty taker. It's the first spot kick they've been awarded this season. And now Yuya Asako, already a scorer for the 2nd year in a row at the Kashima Soccer Stadium against the team that helped him launch his career. Goal in the first half, and a goal from the penalty spot at the very start of the second. Kashima Antlers 0, Vissel Kobe 3. It's difficult to suggest where to go here from the Antlers. Disastrous first half. They conceded with more or less the last, I say kick because it was Muto's header, the last attack of the first 45. They've conceded from the first attack that Kobe have offered up at the start of the second. And that's dispatched with aplomb. Season's come alive today for Asako. A brace of goals has moved him up to 5 in 8. 3-0 winners at Kyoto Sanga in their last road match in J1. They're at that here with pretty much a half to play here. I suggest it's a way more impressive feat doing it at the Kashima Soccer Stadium. But there's the magic dust here as far as Kobe are concerned. Whenever they come to Ibaraki Prefecture, they know what to do. They just know how to, well, avoid defeat, beat the Antlers. 2-2, 1-1, 1-1, the results in this match in the last 3 years, but they're going to be returning to winning ways surely here, Vissel Kobe, unless there is a collapse of spectacular proportions in the second half here. Daiki Iwamasa resisted the temptation to make changes at the break. Surely not far off them. has to try something else. They have Yuki Kikita on the bench. Kashima Antlers. Arthur, the Brazilian who scored for them this season. Tomoyo Fuji. He might have counted himself out a little bit unlucky, the winger, to drop out of the starting 11 today for Matsumura. Asako. Hatsusa. Yuruki sends it in low. Failed to beat that first man. Hatsusa back at his defensive station to tidy up all the way back to Daya Makawa. And Pituka. Performance, a big display required from someone just to spur them on. Ball over the top into the channel. Here's Hiroza. Can't bring the ball properly under control. And then Hatsusa just lays it up to Asako, who has put in an exemplary centre-forwards display today. Yuya Asako, 2 goals, and although it wasn't his cross that found the head of Yoshinori Muto for the second goal, it was his hold-up play and the strength to just win back possession, shake off 2 Antlers players and lay the ball out to Mitsuki Saito that certainly paved the way for that second goal. And what shape they're going to be in for a huge match back at the Novi next week. Vissel Kobe, when the F Marinos are the visitors. Pituka, that's useful. Was the target as Keichinen came over to the right-hand side to try and move the ball forward from front to back. This is the 49th meeting all in between these two clubs. Is well ahead in terms of the victories overall. Not today. Good save. It was nearly 4-0. Sweeping forward down the left-hand side. Again, Kobe here. Yuruki tees up Muto. Hayakawa. His left hand to this. It's a top save. Every time they come forward, they look, if not exactly like scoring, but creating a really presentable chance that demands the goalkeeper work. And now Tomoyo Fuji is going to come on. He's not the only one as well, the new recruit from Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Started every match before today. Fuji. I wonder if Matsumura's going to be relieved of his duties. Here's the corner. 2 hands on it from Hayakawa. That was strong, and then Sakai just gets that all wrong. And the follow-up. So it is Tomoyo Fuji, a natural replacement for Matsumura. First start of the season for the 21-year-old hasn't panned out the way he would have liked. Again, Shoji for Irosa as they just shuffle around at the back. Is the second change. Shoji is the one-club man who was part of the Champions League winning team in 2018. Normally a centre-half. Damage limitation, really. Is the thinking behind that change, but here's the ball down to Fuji. A quick goal can change everything, as we know. Mood can shift, can't it? The team gets a little bit of momentum up. That will be the hope now. The rain has subsided somewhat, the noise level hasn't, and that will do Kashima Antlers the world of good. The J1 club's fantastically well supported. Supporters and the bands, they keep playing no matter what. Araki shifts it wide there to Sekigawa. Suzuki won't get onto that. Asako, the deftest of touches, just takes all the pace off it. And here's Muto. Lovely. Asako. And there's the pass through. Delightful pass through as well for Koya Yuruki. And he tries to turn it across to Haruya Ide. Switching positions quite delightfully there, because Yoya Asako came so short, as did Muto in fairness, and then Yuruki took on the role of centre forward. And Ide moved into position. Fluidity around Kobe, which is quite delightful to watch here. And all this, as if it needs to be repeated, being achieved without Andres Iniesta, who waits on the bench. There's the corner. Yukawa gets the ball away. Gucci helps him. Sakai. Touch around the corner there for Yamaguchi. Turns it back for Koki Anzai. Clearance wasn't good. It's over the top there by Yuruki. Fuji, that's good. Here's Chinen. Okay, Chinen turns the ball back for Fuji. But that's a little spark, and Antlers need that from the substitute Tomoya Fuji. One of the newcomers in the close season. Signed from Sanfrecce Hiroshima, where he was near enough and ever present over 3 years. More of a creator, though, than a scorer. He got in a good position there. Of course, the corner taken by Araki. Bed in defensively here, Kobe. Suzuki won't drop there for Sekigawa. Hatsusa shut down by Araki as he tried to clear. Breaks kindly there for Kobe. Here's Sakai. Ide ahead of him. Sako very short. And Yuruki is the player on the far side. Near post, far post. Nobody's getting on the end of that. A rather rushed cross. But it's the ease with which they get into attacking positions. Vissel Kobe, every time they are able to turn over possession. Change is imminent as we approach the hour mark at the Kashima Soccer Stadium. The Antlers heading for their worst home defeat in just over a year. The F Marinos came here and won 3-0 on the 10th of April last year. Since then, with the remainder of that 2022 season, and of course earlier this campaign, but not as heavily. Kobe, really impressive so far. But you do wonder where the Antlers go from here. There's Asako, as his shirt tugged by, again, Shoji. Not the impact that would have wanted from one of their more experienced players, again Shoji. card for the veteran. Yamaguchi. Atsus. Too much curl and power on that. Sakai retrieves it though. Takes on his opposite number. Pituka tries to pass the ball away. There's Suzuki. Nothing doing today for Yuma Suzuki up front for the Antlers. Fuji nudges that back to Keichinen. Again, the Kobe working very hard just to get everyone back at their century points. Sekigawa. There's a runner. Somebody breaking the lines in. Araki. Well played, Araki. That's wide. Crosses too high for Suzuki. Might drop here for Fuji. And it's in. Suzuki. The little flick, which gives Kobe a problem maybe on the hour. Kashima Antlers get one back. They built down the left-hand side. The ball finally dropped to Tomoya Fuji here, who drifted in, unmanned, able to cut it back to Yuta Higuchi. His shot potentially was going wide until it was turned in there by Yuma Suzuki. It's his third goal of the season. It gives Kashima Antlers a lifeline. Well, staying alert inside the penalty area, Yuma Suzuki. And now there might be a little bit of fire in the belly of the Antlers. This is coach Yoshida, makes a change of his own. Daiju Sasaki has come on for Yuya Osako. It's bedding in now. It's protecting what they have, it's sticking. And Suzuki is going to breathe down the neck of Yuki Honda. Here's Araki taking the corner, pressure on, and it remains with Pituka. Mikawa was positive and aggressive in that situation. It's not the first time there he's collided with one of his own defenders, as that communication seems to be just a touch lacking at the back there at times. Having their first pressure situation really, or confronting their first pressure situation in the match here. Vissel Kobe. Suzuki, it was Saka who missed his kick. It's over the top for Shiren, and that extra bounce means Makawa claims Sakai, that's a better touch. Sasaki, Muto, Hatsusa, Yuruki, Muto, shut down by Shoji. Former international colleagues, Gen Shoji and Yoshinori Muto. So got Yamaguchi out there. So blue samurai players in the past. There's Yuruki. Just tries to feed it back there for Hatsusa. Quite pan out that way. To mention in terms of former international Kotaku Sakai, the right back for Vissel Kobe.
Kobe had one player in the Japan World Cup squad for Qatar last year, but he's since moved on. Yuki Kobayashi to Celtic. Suzuki. Ayakawa trying to pick out Tomoyo Fuji. Big challenge there on Yamaguchi. Dusts himself down pretty quickly, gives it to Hatsusa. And the first real sounding of the alarm signals. They're giving the ball away a little now, Vissel Kobe. Still 25 minutes to go. The Kashima Antlers are going to push everything on. It's a long way to hold out. Yamakawa's header. Just a little bit more ragged now, isn't it? The shape's changed a little with Yuya Osako going off. Possession given up now to the opposition, rather more cheaply. Suzuki desperately tried to flick that ball on. Hatsusa, there's just an extra bite now about the Antlers. The on-rushing player is Tomoyo Fuji, tidied up by Yuki Honda. Back to Makawa, slices that into touch. Muto waits for support. Muto in field, he comes, and then pumps that straight at Ayakawa. Did have options. Fancied the go alone though. Iguchi, Bituka. Yamaguchi. Sakai. Sasaki. Reo Atsusa. Oh, first touch was loose. Good recovery. Yuruki. Steps inside. Sekigawa defends the cross. Atsusa is picking out Muto, made the run across the front of the defender there. Muto, that's tidy. Gives it to Yuruki. Shoji digging in. Well, just wouldn't play along there with what Yuruki wanted. Roll out of play. Pituka. Can't keep it together with a passing triangle. Antlers there, so Hatsuse has it. That's cute. Yuruki, no. Well, it's the sort of move that they were completing in the first half before Osako went off. Muto was pulled out there of continuing his run. And now we're going to see Ryotaro Nakamura and Shuhei Mizuguchi. Fresh legs all over the place here. Well, Mizuguchi, normally a defender. More and more forward-minded. Suzuki won't get to that, and an ample opportunity here to make those changes for Daiki Iwamasa. So it's a double change. players off, Koki Anzai and Ryotaro Araki. Yeah, more energy is required here. So Mizuguchi comes on. It's his first appearance full stop for the Antlers, the 19-year-old homegrown player. Nakamura off the bench for the third time this season. Again, just more energy. It's an attempt for continued presence in the middle of the park here for the Antlers. Another goal, and you never know. Oof, arm was up there from Ide. And that connection will be pulled up. Ria Ide. Again, another tidy performance in the middle of the park for Vissel Kobe alongside Yamaguchi. Just those two sitting a little further ahead of Mitsuki Saito. Happy to be a conduit between defence and attack when things are going well, but it's a battening down the hatches operation from here on in, really, for Vissel. Happy to pick off the odd counter-attack, though, as may be the case here. Muto, super ball across! Super header into the back of the net. It's Daiju Sasaki. It's the substitute on target. 4-1. Clinical counter-attacking again. Muto dragged out to the left-hand side, picking out Sasaki. Scores away from the Novi Stadium for the second time this season. He was also on target at Sapporo. Delightfully placed finish. And the Antlers caught with too many bodies forward. It's not offside, is it? Because Sekigawa is playing Muto on in the middle. Looks up. No one shuts him down properly. And the cross drops over the head of Sekigawa and is stuck past Hayakawa by Daiju Sasaki. Three headers and a penalty. 4 for Kobe. They're going to be checking the offside, but let's try and forget all about that. Just after he'd made that defensive change as well, the Antlers coach Daiki Iwamasa with Shuei Mizuguchi coming on for his first ever appearance, never mind just in the league, full stop for the Antlers. Suzuki stands up nicely for Meikawa. Ball is out of play. I think there was a signal there that the midfield needs a rejig for Vissel Kobe. It's going to be a substitution. Further substitution here for the Antlers. Yuki Kikita is being called for here. The player is returned after 6 years away, owned by the Antlers, but been at various clubs on loan. Pituka will come off for Kikita. Takashima Vortis Sagan Tosu in the last couple of years for Kikita. Centre forward has to be that kind of change from here on in. And, well, they were calling actually his Yuki Honda's teammates for the stretcher the moment they saw his injury.
So there's going to be an enforced change here. I mean, they've got Asaki, they've got Matthias Tula. Now then, John Patrick. Is it to be another goal-scoring display from Patrick? Super sub extraordinaire so far this season, although his goal in stoppage time at the end last week against Niigata was ruled out. Wasn't his fault, by the way. It was still a great finish. Fresh legs all over the place, and no wonder. Yeah, we're going to be seeing Mathis Thula, who is owned by Flamengo back home in Brazil, but he's been out on loan last couple of years. Patrick for Aruya Ide, and Mathis Thula is off the bench for the second time this season in the league. Had 11 minutes at the end at Sanga a couple of weeks ago. So defensive midfielder or central defender, but the straightforward replacement for Yuki Honda. Jean Patrick will fancy this surely as well. A little bit of confusion over what Diki Uemasa wants to do. The last 15 minutes here of normal time. Who knows what the board will show when we come to learn how many extra minutes will be bolted onto the end here. And every minute that goes by, it's time running out for Kashima Antlers. Nakamura with that touch. Suzuki, Fuji, Hatsusa slams that door shut. And Suzuki's taken a knock. His ankle caught there. Suzuka, who is going to lead the line till the bitter end here. Yuta Higuchi will launch in this free kick. Good free kick as well. There was contact there from an Antlers player. I think Suzuki has met that. Sekigawa thrusting himself forward as well. A white-shirted bank of defenders trying desperately there to protect Mikawa's goal. That'll be the aim again here as the corner comes in from Higuchi. Very deep. Suzuki meets that first time. There's not enough conviction behind that. Patrick tries to bring it clear. His first touch on Patrick there. Sekigawa well forwards. First touch useful. Able to roll it across, and Higuchi. And plenty to aim for. Just stood that cross up to the far post area. But it's headed over the top. Again, a difficult one to control that really for Keiichinen. Dropping vertically almost that cross onto the head of Keiichinen. No power on the cross or pace on the cross to meet it with. Sasaki. Last-ditch challenge was needed there from Shoji, and he made it.
Yuruki, he's shut down. Naturally, it has to come forward, but in a controlled way from the Antlers. There might be a chance to do that now. So Nakamura just rolled it on. Mikawa belted to safety. So this does well there, does really well. Muto. Suzuki, can't quite hold it up, it does well on the recovery. Fuji. Suzuki. Two on the danger man there for the Antlers, Yuma Suzuki, and they just play their way out of bother. Not quite, but the idea was right. And deserves applauding again from Vissel Kobe. Yuruki nearly away down the left-hand side. Pace picked up through the middle by Yuta Iguchi for the Antlers. Vissel Kobe have scored 4 in the league away from home. For the first time in over 2 years today. Not since a 4-3 win at Consadole Sapporo in March of 2021 have they managed 4 on the road. There's 1 in the against column, they want to keep that as it is. No, that's going to roll out away from Mizoguchi. Yeah, Yuya Osako, that was his first contribution in front of goal. That gave them the lead, and then at the start of the second half, he did that from the spot. 2 goals today for Yuya Osako against his former club. Quite the penchant for scoring important goals, does Osako. Departed from the pitch, but he's been a top striker for the last decade or so for club and country. Actually scored on just his 2nd appearance for the Antlers. He's a 19-year-old in the AFC Champions League all the way back in 2009. Won the league in his first season as a professional, and big goals in League Cup semi-finals. An extra time winner in the J.League Cup final of 2011 against Urawa Reds. Still doing it. Leo Asaki, defensive midfielder, comes on for Koya Yuruki. An extra option to play alongside Saito and Yamaguchi in the midfield. Leo Asaki. Again, Sergei Samper still ruled out by injury, but you imagine he will be part of the conversation when he's fit again. And Iniesta still on the bench. Don't want to upset the balance. Jean-Patrick away. Muto is square. There's another player, Yamaguchi, and another. Rolled in by Muto. Benefits from the layoff. Sakai was forward, thought he was going to put his laces through it. Kobe have 5. Muto has 2. And the Antlers are being cut to ribbons at the end. This is a striking result. Muto has been left on to lead the line. I mean, Patrick as well shows his worth as well. He's such an impact player, Jean-Patrick. Unselfish to roll it back there for Yamaguchi. And then Sakai eschews the chance to get on target himself by presenting Muto with the open goal. So, 1 goal for the season coming into today, Yoshinori Muto. He's up to 3, scored 6 last year. And Kobe are buzzing. Pressure builds on Daiki Uemasa. I wonder what the higher-ups are making of this performance. They knew they'd have to lock in here and be tight against Vissel Kobe, but have been torn apart in truth. Patrick with the flick on. Here they come again. It's Daiju Sasaki. Muto gives him the short option. Muto in field. It's a dispossession operation. Then Fuji, and the ball is thrust clear. Yamakawa. Back heel flick round the corner there by Sakai. Still they're coming forward. Sekigawa reads the pass there into Jean-Patrick. His presence felt there, the sub, Patrick, is through needlessly late there on Sekigawa. Mekawa came out, not short. Nakamura tries to do something. Ueda well forward as well for the Antlers, but it's a lost cause, isn't it? What a match in prospect next week. Vissel Kobe versus Yokohama F. Marinos. Nakamura. Suzuki's flick. Just wouldn't drop quickly enough there for Tomoya Fuji. Muto draws the foul. We're talking about the next league assignments. But it is Sanfrecce Hiroshima away in the J.League Cup. I mean, they've pretty much washed their hands of that. Or so you would think, really, with the teams that Yoshida has put out this season. Beaten at home in that competition by Nagoya Grampus. Got the win at Yokohama FC, but everyone's beating Yokohama FC this season. And then, of course, the 5-0 hammering at home to Hiroshima with a completely different 11, which came 4 days before the Niigata draw last week. So no doubt the fringe players will get a run out. Yoshida turns his attentions to the F. Marinos. What a statement victory that would be if they can get the win. Jean-Patrick on the follow-up, draws another save from Ayakawa. And right at the end, Kobe wanting to twist the knife further and deeper. Not an afternoon that he will want to remember fondly, Ayakawa. But for him, it could have been more, it has to be said. The Antlers are in a really sorry state. It's just small pivotal points, isn't it? I just wonder what might have happened had they clung on to that 1-0 lead going into stoppage time against Frontale on week 2. Jean-Patrick picks the ball up. Muto is the option, 2 square, and a very tired Yoshinori Muto takes a tumble as we hit the 90-minute mark at the Kashima Soccer Stadium.
Up and over here for Kakita. Nothing doing. 6 extra minutes of torture for the Antlers. On the road twice next week, Vissel Kobe in the J.League Cup, and then Niigata. Bit of extra pride might be salvaged here, but nothing more. If they can nick another one before the end here, the Antlers. Sakai, though, gets a heel to that. Saito takes it on. Sekigawa, though, tidies up, gives it to Naomichi Ueda. I thought quite the Antlers would be in this state, returning to the club after a spell in Europe. Ueda, just a little heavy that from Kakita. Muto, full of running still, chasing down Genshoji. The very last here. Ueda, Suzuki, Fuji. Back to the goalkeeper for Matthias. Suzuki. Layoff for Suzuki. Sakai. Get it away far. They've lost all impetus now. Just want that final bell. Kashima Antlers. Yeah. Better days he's seen. Set to drop a place to 15th in the table. Kobe returning to the top. Their gap will be 2 points over Nagoya Grampus, Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Who are Reds a further point back on 16 points. The F Marinos on 14, defending champions. And Kobe's opponents next week. Jean-Patrick into the near post, wide from Yamaguchi. I mean, the way they're getting these bodies forward, 5-1 up, 3 minutes into stoppage time, you have to applaud the way Kobe see these matches out. Sakai should deal with this, does deal with this. Last time there was anything like an away scoreline like this for Vissel Kobe, 6-1 at Sagan Tosu in August of 2019. Iniesta was on target that day, not needed today. Scorer of a couple of goals that day, Kyogo Furuhashi, building his reputation before that move to Celtic. Conveyor belt to Europe might be firing up again. Kobayashi has made that journey as well. But as if there was any doubt before today, Kobe have got a team that's going to challenge this season. Best ever, 3rd place a couple of years ago. Clearly, last season's relegation-haunted campaign is a thing of the past, a thing that's been banished to the back of minds. Now they're taking on all-comers, The Antlers, J1's most successful club, are in crisis. It's been a statement performance and a statement result by Vissel Kobe, continuing this uncannily good run of form whenever they visit the Kashima Soccer Stadium. Ten visits without defeat now. 6 wins in that time. And Kobe come to Ibaraki Prefecture. And this has been the best victory of the lot. Yuya Osako with 2 goals, Yoshinori Muto with 2 goals, substitute Daiju Sasaki on target. Osako helping to shoot down the club at which he launched his career. Yes, there was a consolation in the middle of it all, but Kobe were just rampant today. Maintaining their position at the top of the table in J1, having briefly lost it after the early kickoffs were completed. Suzuki and the Antlers left crestfallen. On this evidence, well, there will be no return to the glory days. It'll be quite the opposite. It'll be a relegation fight, unless Iwamasa can find some sparkle from somewhere. Still, the unbeaten run, the winning results at the Kashima Soccer Stadium continue for Vissel Kobe. Coach Yoshida will be delighted with this as they take on the F Mariners next up in a mouth-watering clash on week 9 of J1. Just look at that. A statement win, a statement performance, a statement result for Vissel Kobe, winning at the Antlers by 5 goals to 1. That man is under pressure, no doubt about it. Daiki Iwamasa, he just about held it together last season. They had a late season run in which they managed to bag 4th place. Plenty thought that was a bit of a false position at the end of the season. But now it's all about digging in and finding form from somewhere. Kobe are the team in form. And 2 months into the season, they are the team to take down. It was wonderful centre-forward play by Osako and Muto, really. Suzuki couldn't do much in response. Fantastic performance here, not by him, but by this man.
おめでとうございます。素晴らしい勝利でした。まず大迫選手の2ゴールを振り返っていただきたいんですが、1点目コーナーキックからでしたが、うまくフリーの位置にいました。ポジショニング、駆け引きなど教えていただけますか？
まあそうですね、うまく相手のマークを外すことできましたし、本当に亮がいいボールを上げてくれたので、はい、あとはもう合わせるだけでした。
そして PK のシーンなんですが、難しいコースでしたが、自信を持って蹴っていきましたね。
まあ外しは仕方ないので、はい、まあチームが勝てるように、全力を